Hello everyone, Skippy here. So with the airing of episode 890 of One Piece this past Saturday, they released, well, during the episode it was a 15-second PV for the brand new anime adaptation of the Wano arc, but on the One Piece official Twitter, they released a full 30-second PV. This is the second one, actually. It has some footage from the first preview, which I won't try to dwell on here, but I decided that before I start doing Wano breakdowns and everything, it's probably a good idea to give a little bit of information by looking towards this PV, because obviously there's a lot of confusion, as much as I've been trying to tweet out corrections and everything, there's a lot of confusion just about Wano in general, but there's a lot of hype, there's also a lot of confusion, and just the animation within this PV, even though we'll cover it in the episode breakdowns, just the animation, the aesthetic, the character designs, it's so great, and I want to be able to at least just because it's like the hype thing right now, cover it and just give my insight while also trying to teach people something before the Wano breakdown start. This is also unscripted, so I'm probably gonna screw up a lot, but I'll try my very best to not screw up. So let's get started, and we start here with Zoro, which is so much so Midori Matsuda, the brand new character designer, she's supervising the first Wano episode. So this is obviously from that. This is so her corrections, this is so her Zoro, just in the look in general, so close to Masayuki Sato, who's her I guess her sensei in a way, like her teacher. Like, she worked on One Piece Film Gold, so she's very close to his art, which is in turn close to Oda's own art. So you can see that Zoro is very manga accurate. You could just also tell it's Matsuda from the jawline. The line work is just super soft and clean. And this, something I've always noticed is that the hands in Sato and Matsuda's art, fingers more than anything, they're huge. They're pretty big, and they're very Oda-like. So definitely Matsuda's own correction. And this cut of Zoro this cut of Zoro walking is actually animated really nice. There's not a lot, but just it oozes a little bit of character, which I'm always fond of. Not gonna try to dwell on stuff from the first first preview a whole lot, but I think this was necessary, especially because there's a little millisecond of new stuff at the very end. This Frankie is definitely correct. A correction from the chief animation supervisor Keiichi Ichikawa, and if you'll notice, on both Zoro actually too, there's no necklines. Something that became a staple in the anime, starting with Whole Cake Island, was necklines. And mouth lines too, if we'll zoom in just a bit. Go for it a bit. Frankie doesn't have mouth lines either. And that's because they did him in Whole Cake Island because it was Oda's way of just showing depth within just the neck, and shading the neck, and also shading the mouth. The mouth shading isn't all the time, but it's sometimes. But it's something that Whole Cake Island adopted. Primarily the chief animation supervisor Keiichi Ichikawa. They've gotten rid of that this arc from the looks of it, probably to speed things up in the animation process, I'm gonna guess, and that's probably right, because drawing all those lines after drawing a huge action cut or what have you is just probably not very easy. But nice little cool cut of Frankie, maybe Chu Young So's work, I'm not sure, corrected by Ichikawa. This Usopp is great. I'm just gonna play this. I love his little, it's so tiny, but his little, just the character that Usopp oozes, and the little bit of finesse that he uses once he just rotates his arm around to the front is just great. It's not an insanely animated cut. It's animated enough. It's not more than what it needs to be. It is what it is. And it's probably, I'm gonna guess, by Midori Matsuda, her own key animation, but just cause she's a bit of a subtle character animator herself. But I love character acting, so any time it shows up in One Piece just a little bit, I'm ecstatic. I ooze happiness because I love Ryo Onoshi's work in One Piece, and I miss it, along with Tate Kurionagi's work in the past. Just the character acting is something I've missed, so even if it's subtle, I'm super excited for it. Of course, a Matsuda correction of Robin that we saw in the first PV as well. This Buckethead Samurai guy, who I'm thinking is I think it's animated by Yoichi Mitsui, because a lot of it, there's a lot of traits that are similar to Mitsui's past work, just the body type, the general movement and everything, and even some just the shading looks like him. But there's a little bit of a doubt, because it looks like Mitsui, but it's not 100% like Mitsui. But of course, I could just be because from the looks of it, it looks like Wano's trying to go for a bit of a softer like approach to everything. So maybe he could be like trying to stay within the realm of his own work, while also like adhering to the character designs and this new like softer aesthetic, which he kind of didn't. He more or less ignored, I think, because he saw his character designs, and so maybe that's it. Maybe he's just trying to go for like a softer overall approach, and like it is still him, and it is most likely him. But like there's still like a bit of a shadow of a doubt that it couldn't be him. But we'll see, of course, when the episode airs. Very cool board from Tetsuya Nagamine with how it just zooms in on his eye through his helmet. Then we get some Japanese lanterns. I think this either is from the opening or from an episode, but either way, it's probably Nagamine's board, whether it's the opening or the episode, and it's really nice. I like the inclusion of it. Then we get some effects work on the beach that probably is Youngsa as well. Resembles some of his 870 work with Katakuri's observation hockey. Not 100%. It's not like 100% like it, but considering its similarities to it, it's probably true. And like my only other guess would be Sati Masami Mori, but like he's probably on One Piece Stampede if anything, so it's most likely not him and probably just Chu. And that's great because Chu's just become the star of One Piece over the past year. Him, Ishizuka, Tomita, but him and Ishizuka more than anyone else. They've become the stars, and Chu is definitely like the youngest out of all of them, so like he's the most promising, and he's just done so much work. So like if it is him, wouldn't be surprised. It looks like so like it looks similar to his work, but like there's a little bit of a doubt that it could be someone else, but it's probably him. Then if we move forward a bit, we'll see the super Shuichi Ito Luffy, like just so Ito. Ito is known for trying to stay close to the Chief Animation Supervisor Keiji Ichikawa, and you could tell the forehead huge. Well, not, I mean, at least a alright sized forehead. Yeah, the teeth super Ichikawa, the eyes, like he used to be closer to Hisada, but I think once Whole Cake Island rolled around, he definitely started to try to be closer to Ichikawa. And of course, if you notice, there's no necklines, and I don't think Luffy opens his mouth in this cut. He does with his fucking teeth, but there's no necklines. So of course, Ito isn't doing the necklines either, so that's probably, no necklines anymore, no mouth lines anymore, as I said. But I do like Ito's Luffy. I know it's a bit divisive, but I enjoy him. Oh, jeez. This. So, I'm gonna play this. This is a little bit of filler action with Zoro with the seppuku knife, and I don't know, this is obviously not done by a regular on the anime, but like, just, there's so much like finesse within the movement, just how Zoro bobs around. The character art is very unique and like kind of like blobby-ish, but like still within like the form. And obviously this last cut is corrected by Midori Matsuda, but like just the smears as Zoro's like dancing around and like fucking cutting these guys apart is great, and just like the underside of his like chin is great too. It's very unique, but I have no idea who could possibly be. Maybe Kodai Watanabe, but like I would expect him more to be on One Piece Stampede at this point. And it could be like some other like animator like who's like a freelancer who's like a super huge fan of One Piece or something. And because that's happened before with Watanabe is a fan, but like Takashi Kojima, Hiromi Ishigami, they're all fans. And I know Ishigami did say she was working on One Piece. We don't know if that's Wano, the Wano opening, Stampede. Could be either or. I don't know who it is. We obviously will know once the episode comes up, but these smears are insane. Just the choreography, Nagamine's board, if anything, for this thing is crazy. Zoro's close up there is great. That's probably not Matsuda, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Corrected by Matsuda. And then we got this big, I forgot the fucking name of it, this ape thing on the beach of Wano, wrecking a tree. Don't know who that is. We got this cut of the Tengu from an earlier PV. Not gonna dwell too much on that. It's a good cut. Luffy from the first PV. This is probably Shuichi Ito as much as it looks like Keiichi Ichikawa, because as I said, Ito is close to Ichikawa, and if you'll look at the previous shot, the mouth is like 1-to-1. But it looks like it was corrected over by Ichikawa just a tiny bit. The ears, and I just think the overall like polish of it, despite Ito being polished in general, is probably a giveaway. But who knows? I'm definite that like at the very least it's an Ito correction, maybe like done once again over by Ichikawa. Then if we'll move, we'll see a crazy just as the scale on this is great. Big lion on the beach of Wano, Luffy just standing there. That's definitely Ichikawa-esque, just like the body type and everything. And then we this little cute cut of Otama doing her little ninja pose. She's adorable. This is probably Chu Youngsa, if I'm guessing, just because the smears. Chu's smears are very distinct, and he's been using smears a lot, and like always injecting so much subtle character into his scenes. So this is most likely him. And I'm confident on that guess. Of course, it could be someone else. We don't know who Nagamine is going to bring in this arc, but definitely looks like Chu to me. Then we get the just another shot of someone from the oh yeah. Let's just forget about that, because the next up is my absolute favorite on the show, Katsumi Shizuka. I flipped out when I saw this. This is insane. Ishizuka is someone who has really well, one of his most defining traits is his line art. His line art is nuts. Just his art and his overall just the look of his characters is just so visceral and insane. Ever since he was just a simple key animator back in Logtown. Well, maybe not Logtown, but ever since Luffy versus Crocodile, he's been insane with his line work and just his general animation. But his line work is what I want to focus on here, because we of course know Ishizuka is a really good animator, but just the line art here, the new composite, the new line filter, which makes everything so bold, so out there, so in your face, does wonders for Ishizuka's line work. Because before, it was fine, but it was fine as in the general public wouldn't be mad, but just for video files and stuff, I guess, just people who more look into the production of anime, the black values were kind of they weren't really there much, and it just, the lines weren't as, they didn't pop out as much as they should. So Ishizuka's work was still striking as well as Ichikawa's own thick lines, but it wasn't as striking as it could be. But here, holy shit, it pops out. It pops out so much. Just the way Zoro, this is we haven't seen much. I mean, obviously this means probably, because this is a filler scene, that Ishizuka is going to be on the first episode of Wano, which is amazing. I can't wait. I'm so glad. Because I mean, he's my all-time favorite on the show right now. So it's just it's great that we're gonna see him on the first episode of Wano, but just I'm glad that at the same time they didn't show a whole lot of his cut. They just kept some of its secrets more a half second. But just even if there's, the animation's great, but there's there's smears there, there's not a lot to go off of. His art alone absolutely makes up for that. It is fucking insane. I love it, and I cannot wait to see the full cut. Hopefully that's not always see. Then we get a bit of a nice little bit of it's just small character animation that's kind of peppered throughout this trailer of this person playing the shamisen, that just the way it turns to meet their face, just that's another example, I think, of Nagamina's board managing resources well, which is something he said that he can do. He can manage, even if he has so little resources, he can manage a storyboard so it'll look animated. And that's, I think, obviously there's a lot of talented animators on show here, so that's not he's not using the bottom of the barrel in terms of staff, but it still shows that even when using talented animators, he absolutely knows how to manage resources and make every second, little millisecond, except for establishing shots and everything, look extremely animated in this PV. He's so great, and I'm glad that he is the series director for One Piece. I love Toshinori Fukuzawa, the past series director, but I love Nagamine, and just seeing the filter, the introduction of a brand new character designer after 10 years of Kazuya Hisada, just the overall art direction, the board, just how everything is so animated, and how stuff he said in interviews about character animation and everything, and character interactions, and just Luffy versus Kaido and everything, and just how much of a fan he is of One Piece, definitely has me excited and happy that he is our brand new series director. And I think that about ends. Yeah, we end on this shot from the first PV of Luffy. So that was a breakdown of the second Wano PV unscripted, of course. VLC also stopped there for like a quick second, so like a lot sooner than I thought, so I had to stop the recording and start again. But I hope I did well enough to just kind of show you who did what. I hope I did a good job of that, because unscripted videos are kind of hard to do. And just as I made this kind of like more as like just like a thing to be like, oh well, if I was right about Mitsui when the episode airs, I can at least go back to this and be like, yeah, I was right. And like every time I rewatch it, be like, yeah, I was right. But like also just to give like an idea to everyone, because like there's not a lot of people out. There's a lot of people. There's more now than ever, I think. But like a lot of people aren't really as educated on One Piece animation, especially nowadays, as I'd like there to be. And that's definitely why I'm going to be doing Wano breakdowns, and I think that this was just a good precursor to that, and also just to cover it because, like, Wano hype is real. It's so real. Like, I am just so glad that everything is working together. We're getting a brand new character designer after 10 years of Hisata. We're getting a brand new series director, as good as Fukuzawa was, as I said, you know. Just, like, just the new line filter, just the colors, just the art direction, everything lands. Just everything lands, and it's just, like, it's just so amazing, and just the reaction from everyone on Twitter and everything has just been amazing, and I just can't wait to, though I'm worried that they're showing like a bit too much, because there's 2 Wano PVs now, and I kind of want to be surprised at what they have to show, but at the same time, the way these trailers are edited, they could be showing everything, but yet nothing at the same time. So who knows, but I'm definitely excited to start breaking down Wano. I will actually start breaking down the anime episodes, starting with this next episode, episode 891, because it's kind of the start of a new era. Like, it's the end of Hisata and the start of Matsuda, and I kind of, and you know, just old composite and everything, old colors, and like just the previous series director, the end of that, and I kind of just want to cover that and segue within to this next chapter of the anime, really. So that's what I'll be covering before Wano starts on July 6th. It's July 7th in Japan, but July 6th here. So that's definitely, I will be covering that before I cover the first Wano episode, so stay tuned for that this upcoming weekend, and I hope you're all excited for Wano as I am, and I hope I get to win eventually. With this video, I know it was a little bit messy because it's unscripted. It's my first time kind of really doing something like this, especially unscripted. It's hard, but I hope you guys learned something, and I hope you will learn something when the Wano breakdowns eventually start. So anyways, guys, I'm Skippy, and thank you so much for watching me stumble my way through this unscripted Wano breakdown, but I hope you're excited for the Wano arc and my animation breakdowns.